Hello and welcome back to Asia Now. We're bringing the top stories and news from around the Philippines. In this video, I'll tell you about an American who was arrested at the airport. Find out why. Spanish parents call for justice for the son who was taken away in Siargao. Here are the details on that story. Vice President Sara Duterte resigns as Educational Secretary. The Philippines ranks the lowest for creative thinking in a recent test, and more. Starting off with the USD gaining a bit more momentum against the Philippines peso. Right now, the exchange rate is 1 USD equal to 58.78 pesos. And this time I'll try to remember to do our section about yesterday today, where I read the top comments. Our main story: the Bureau of Immigration said its officers at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, NAIA, foiled a second attempt by an American offender to illegally enter the country by assuming a different name and identity. In a statement, the Immigration Commissioner Norman said that the passenger, the 59-year-old Kent Thomas Kuzajuski, who arrived at the NAIA Terminal 1 on June 12th aboard a Philippines airline flight from Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam. The American presented to the BI officer a U.S. passport under the name Blade Tyler, but the same yielded a positive hit in the BI derogatory list, which prompted the immigration supervisor on duty to deny his entry and board his return to his port of origin. The American, who was arrested and deported by the BI in 2015 for being registered offender, also attempted to re-enter the country via the Mactan Airport in June 2021, but was also excluded due to his inclusion in the BI's blacklist of undesirable aliens. He was then found to be using the name Alex Stevens. But that's the third time. I quote, "We received information that he has been using 2 other U.S. passports and aliases to conceal his real identity and used it as a ploy to gain entry into the country where he travels," the BI chief said. He added that under the Philippines Immigration Act, foreigners convicted of crimes involving moral turpitude are subject to outright exclusion upon arriving to the country. The American was immediately booked and boarded the next available flight back to Vietnam following his exclusion. A record showed that the American was previously arrested in Bacolod City, February 2015, after being tagged as a fugitive for violating the terms of his probation. Prior to his arrest, he hid in the country for 8 years to evade serving a sentence for the crime of third-degree sexual conduct. He has served 4 years in prison and was released on probation, but he violated the conditions of his parole by fleeing the U.S. I quote, "We are deeply concerned about the activities the Philippines given this criminal record," said the commissioner. I quote, "His repeated attempts to return using different aliases show his criminal intent." Okay, my boy really wants to be in the Philippines. Look, man, I don't want to joke about these kind of offenses because they're serious crimes, especially if it's against minors, which I don't really know. But that goes to show you, man, just play within the rules. Like, why get yourself blacklisted? It's been 10 years, 2015 almost, that he's trying to get back to the country using different names. He's really persistent, so obviously he did enjoy the Philippines, maybe a little too much. Leave your comments down below. I don't like to highlight specific nations or people, but these things are important for us to know, to basically watch how we, because look, the guy used a real passport with a different name, but I guess due to facial recognition and maybe other info and intel, he was still caught and rejected and deported back to Vietnam. I'm surprised he got away with not, anyways. Let's go on. Let's move on to our next story. Justice for Diego. The parents of Diego Alberto Bello Lafuente, a Spaniard, faced the media during a press conference at Makati Sports Club on June 19th as they seek justice for the death of their son during an alleged buy-bust operation on Siargao Island on January 8th, 2020. Bello, who had been living there since 2017 in Siargao, owned a surf shop and a bar restaurant. Pilar Lafuente and Alberto Bello said that they were committed to follow the case to the end until justice was served. 3 police officers, including the former police chief of the municipality of General Luna, Siargao, have been charged with murder and planting of evidence by the National Bureau of Investigation in September 2021. Bello's parents are also seeking an audience with the President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Whoa, so I had no idea about the story. I have to look into this maybe a bit more and bring you guys more details. But I guess the parents are not giving up because they feel like their son was taken away wrongfully by the police officer of the Philippines and other policemen as well, having evidence planted. And yeah, so I'll see what happens with that, and I'll bring you guys more stories about that. Let me know if you know about this story before I have to Google it. Maybe you can just read the comments. And sometimes it's better to hear firsthand if you guys live in Siargao instead of me trying to Google it somewhere and getting some weird source telling me some weird story. Next up, former Negros Oriental Governor Pride Henry Tevez, brother of expelled Negros Oriental Representative Arnulfo Tevez Jr., was arrested by the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group on Thursday morning. He was on a list of the top most wanted persons in provincial and regional level for the violation to the Terrorism Financing Prevention and Suppression of 2012. They've gone ahead and blurred his face, but I'll show it to you because you can just simply Google it and his face will come up. So yeah, that's what the man looks like. He's a brother of that guy that's right now in Timor-Leste waiting extradition back to the Philippines. That's an ongoing case, so when I hear more about that, I'll bring that news to you guys then. Next up, Vice President Sara Duterte, the daughter of the previous president, Rodrigo Duterte, resigns from the Marcos administration cabinet. Sorry guys, it got really loud over there, so I had to like start walking. Yeah, that's one thing about being outside. It gets really loud. If you're inside, it might be dark. I guess this is why some people have studios. Who knows, maybe one day I'll get there. Anyways, continuing on to our next story. Filipino students have one of the weakest creative thinking skills in the world based on a newly launched global benchmark test. 15-year-old students in the Philippines scored only 14 points on average in a newly introduced creative thinking assessment of 2022 cycle, and the program with 64 countries, the average being 33 score, and the Philippines only got 14. So a lot of that bugs now. Blech. Look what I do to make videos for you guys and for me too. But anyways, so I just ate a bug. If you guys enjoyed that, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Stop it. Anyways, low scores in the Philippines when it comes to school. Me, sometimes personally, I don't really put everything in a score like system testing. Some of those questions can be catered towards, I don't know, I have no idea. You guys want to go ahead and read more about that, I'll put the link in the description down below. And on another note, a Filipino mini zoo was closed down because there was a video of people trying to feed it a cat, like a snake, a cat. They're trying to feed the snake a cat. Anyways, with that being said, let's take a look at yesterday's comments and I'll finish this up. Yesterday's video was about 4 types of toxic foreigners in the Philippines. We ended up with like at least over 10 types of foreigners, but here are the top comments. Kimmy says, yesterday I met a miserable foreigner while getting a taxi for my wife. He started by telling me I should get a Grab instead of a taxi. Grab was unavailable. He said he likes to fight and has been drunk for days with bottles all around his bed. I also met 3 older expats in SM Grocery as they were wonderful, married family men such as myself. The point is, it's like anywhere, just smaller geographically. I find it easy to stay clear of these undesirable people. I enjoy your videos. Take care. Well, thank you for sharing. And I think at the time of making this, that had some of the most likes with 4. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Gotta find a better filming location, right? It's loud AC over there, birds, bugs, thirst. See you guys next time. Bye.